So in this video, I want to show you in your chemistry in determining the number of atoms in a compound, because they are going to be asking you to determine the number of atoms, in your compound. So this is very simple. For example, if I give you the compound, sodium, sulfate. So the proper formula for sodium sulfate is that, and I want you to determine the number of atoms, the total number of atoms in this compound sodium sulfate. So what you do, you identify the different elements that are there. So you have your sodium, you have your sulfur, and you have your oxygen. So that is what you do. First of all, try to determine that, then identify the number of atoms of each type that you have. For example, how many sodium are there? That one tells me there are only 2. That is what I have there. So there are only 2. Here for sulfur, there's a 1 here, but we don't write 1 in our formula. So meaning for sulfur, there's only 1 atom. What about for oxygen? I can see because of that subscript there, which is a 4, it simply means that there are 4 atoms. So if you want to know the total number of atoms in the compound, you just need now to add 2 plus 1, plus 4. So that is going to give you, there are 7, atoms. So that is the number of atoms that you have in that one. All right. Suppose I told you to say in 2 molecules, let me say in 2 molecules of water, I want you to determine, in 2 molecules of water. Well, 2 molecules of water, we did write a 2, then H2O. So that's what I mean when I say 2 molecules of water. Right. So now, if you look at the number in front, this number tells you there are 2 molecules of water. So this is a water molecule, but there are 2 of them. So now the number in front here multiplies by each of the elements that you have there. So if you look at what you have there, you do have hydrogen and oxygen. So therefore, how many atoms of hydrogen are there? Remember, hydrogen has a subscript 2, so it is this 2 in front times that 2. So 2 times 2, that will give me 4 atoms. Then what about oxygen? Remember, it has a 1 there, but we don't write that one. So it is 2 times the 1. So it will be 2 times 1, which is going to give me 2. Remember what I said, the number in front multiplies by each of the elements that are there. So what is the total? Yeah, so what is the total number of atoms that we are going to have? For the total number of atoms, you just add 4 plus 2, which is going to give us 6 atoms. So it is not complicated. It is something that is very simple that you can work out. Suppose I told you to find the number of atoms present in a molecule. So we find maybe molecule, let's say we have a molecule of lead 2 nitrate. Yeah, so lead 2 nitrate. How many atoms are there in lead 2 nitrate? The formula Pb, then NO3 and the 2 there. So that's the proper formula for lead 2 nitrate. Now for me, you identify the different number of atoms that are there. So you have got Pb, which is lead, you have got nitrogen, and you also have oxygen. So if you look at nitrogen, it is 1 along there. Now remember those brackets there, the number outside means it is multiplying by what is inside the bracket. So nitrogen has a 1 here, so it is like 2 times 1, which is just going to give you, so it is like 1 times 2, which will just give you a 2 because there's a 1 here. For oxygen, there's a 3 there, so it will be 3 multiplied by the number outside, which is a 2, and that will give you a 6. So therefore, the total number of atoms in lead 2 nitrate is going to be, we are going to add 1 plus 2 plus 6. So what is that going to give us? That is going to give us 9 atoms. So that is basically the way you can do it. Suppose I told you again, to find the total. I tell you to say, find the total number of atoms. Find the total number of atoms in, maybe let's use ammonium phosphate. So ammonium phosphate, so when you talk about ammonium phosphate, this ammonium phosphate has the formula that. So what are you going to do? So identify the different, types of atoms that are there. So in this case, you have got nitrogen, you have got hydrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. So how many of each type are there? Remember that 3 outside multiplies, there's a 1, so it's 1 times 3, which will give you a 3. Then there hydrogen, there are 4, but times the number outside times 3, that gives you a 12. Phosphorus here, there's only a 1, and oxygen, there's only a 4. So what do? You simply, to find the total number of atoms there, you simply just add them. So it will be 3 plus 12 plus 1 plus 4. So if you look at that, that is 15, 16, and that will give you, there are 20 atoms. So it is possible that you can actually, get, to find the number of, atoms in a molecule. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got the concept. If you got the concept, you can also try this one in your own free time. You can try to find the number of atoms in the following molecules. Maybe let me give you to say, 4, find carbon dioxide molecules. Then maybe you can find 3, molecules of ammonia. Then we can have maybe you can find 3 molecules of ammonium sulfate. So 3 molecules of ammonium sulfate. All right, so you can try to attempt this and see what you can do. Thank you so much.